watching The Angela DeJoseph Show. This is Angela DeJoseph. We are talking about health tonight. We're talking about the healthcare law on the show. But an important thing we need to talk about is health disparities. One of them happens to be cancer. Joining me tonight is an actress that you've seen on many movies, Coming to America. I just saw her in a great play, Zora. This is someone you've seen on television who is sharing with us her story about breast cancer. Welcome to the show, Vanessa Calloway. Thank you, Vanessa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
How are you? How are you?
I'm good, good. Thank you for coming on the show. But you know, you've had quite a career, and I think when I first met you, you were in New York working on a soap opera.
Okay, that's when we first met.
That's when I first. I met.
How did we first meet?
I first met you at the Apollo Theater. It was like the anniversary of the Apollo, and we all had to take a train up to the Apollo to an event.
Okay.
And you were working on the soap opera. Tell me the name of the character.
Which soap opera? I did a couple in New York, but Yvonne, you're probably talking about All My Children.
Right, on All My Children, right. And I saw you then. And then the next time I saw you was here in California.
Was shortly thereafter I moved out here.
And so now you're one of the people that works, and, you know, in our estimation, we feel like you work all the time now.
I can dispute that, but yes, in your estimation.
But it seems, you know, but seeing you in a number of movies.
You see a lot of reruns, but that's cool. It's good. It's all good.
Okay, but I mean, for example, when I saw you at UK in Coming to America, that was an amazing role. I mean, I know it's kind of iconic, that role.
That's good. I like iconic.
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
When we think about that movie, that's one of the scenes in it that was, we remember. And then seeing you in What's Love Got to Do with It? And that was an interesting part. Now, I heard somebody told me a little story about something that happened there.
Okay, who told you the story first before you tell the story? I don't want to embarrass you, so who told you the story?
So the one of the associate producers told me the story.
Of what?
That there was a scene.
Which movie are you talking about, though?
What's Love Got to Do with It?
Okay.
That when Lawrence Fishburne was supposed to fake slap you.
What associate producer? You don't know. Wait a minute, I'm trying to think. I'll tell you the story. I know where you're going with.
Okay.
But what associate producer? Give me a name. I'll tell you the story. I told the story. Associate producer tell the story because they don't know that it happened.
Okay.
But this is the story that I do tell.
Okay.
Which is a true story.
Okay.
If you know anything about stunts and acting, when you get hit, it's a timing thing. As I swing towards your cheek, you turn quickly. And then they add the sound effect later. Well, they had a stunt double for me, LaFay Baker. I don't know some of you guys know LaFay. She's done several stunts in movies for me. But this was LaFay's gig, was supposed to do this movie. But I'm a very physical actor.
Okay.
So they had LaFay in the first part of the day trying to do this stunt. They would cut. And I finally went to Brian Gibson, bless his God rest his soul. I'm like, Brian, what? Not that I was trying to take LaFay's job away, but I'm the one that's got to get up and continue acting.
Okay.
So it's like, well, I'm going to jump in and no. You know, I'm like a girl that's got to do what I got to do to get where I got to go. So I said, no offense to the stunt, but why? No, let her sit down. Let me do this. Because in soap operas and theater, you know, you do your own physicality. So we had done several takes, and then, you know, I fall, I roll up. Because now my energy's here. I actually felt like, you know, I'm in this confrontation with this man, so I could get up and I can do my lines, and it's all good. I'm in the space I need to be as an actor to deliver what I need to do. Well, he misses. We missed the connection. And he slapped the poop out of me. I mean, imagine Lawrence Fishburne's hand, big old hand on my cheek, and we don't have the connection, so we touch. So he really, he hits it on me, right? So that's a point where, you know, as an actor, we're kind of sick. One side of my brain was like, oh, my God, shit, he just hit me. And the other side was like, get up, keep going. This is going to be great. Don't stop.
This is real, huh?
This is going to be great. So when I get up and I'm cussing him out, and that's the take that they used.
Okay, that was real.
So I didn't stop. I just kept going. But, yeah, you know, he did actually hit me.
Now, I saw you in Zora. And
good. Thank you for coming.
Oh, it was magnificent.
Thank you.
And honestly, now I know you're an actress, but honestly, I was like, damn, you took it to a whole nother level. I mean, you inhabited the character. Well, so tell me about the process. How did you pick that particular role?
It picked me. I didn't pick it. A beautiful person, my new sister in life, and also a professor at USC, playwright Gabrielle Pena. She wrote it, and God, there's no mistakes in life. I really believe, as we're going to talk later on when we bring my fabulous Dr. Hurst in, my Dr. Hurst, who I love. But there's no mistakes in life, and the sorority, aka my fabulous sorority, the first black sorority in 1908, Howard University. Anyway, aka that's what brought us together, supposedly. But that was God working because He knew we needed to meet because we had another purpose. So I think that sometimes, and what I always try to explain to my children, you just got to go through your life with every moment meaning something, because that trip to the 7-Eleven to get a bottle of water, that's not really why you're at the 7-Eleven. It's the person next to you sometimes that you end up with a conversation with, and you don't know where that's going, or something happens along the way. That's why you're on your way to the 7-Eleven, not to get the water. That just was the reason you thought you were leaving the house. So I thought that, and matter of fact, I found out recently that she flipped with another soror, because neither one of them wanted to call me. I don't know why, but they were told to hunt me down and get me to host one of our Founders Day a couple of years ago. And she's really shy. She didn't want to do it because that's not her. She didn't want to have to call anybody and talk. But she flipped and lost the bet.
So she had to call you.
So she had to call me. And then through our communications email, it's just something, you just don't know why you like somebody, but we bonded. And then when we met, it was like, and I saw her face for the first time, and we hugged, and I did the event. And then she got enough courage to say, Sora Calloway, I wrote this piece about Zora Neale Hurston, and I think you'll be fabulous in it. Would you do it for me? And she sent me the piece, and I was like, oh, my God. And that's why I met her.
Now, you started off as a dancer?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Primarily, I always acted, but primarily dancing was my focus.
Okay, and how did you make that transition?
Smartly. Because I'm very attuned to what's going on, and I try to tell some of my other dance colleagues that y'all need to change that resume, because if all you gonna do is dance, you really ain't gonna make a lot of money, because at 20-something you think that's enough. And I realized very early in my career, early 20s, that this wasn't gonna be enough. And I love dance, and I could twirl, as we used to say back in the day. I was a very good dancer, and I danced on Broadway, off Broadway. I danced in modern dance companies. I had numerous. I was on scholarship for Alvin Ailey's for like 5 years. I mean, that's what I did. I was a very, very good dancer. And I danced here in L.A. in a lot of different productions and with dance companies. But it was something that told me, I'll tell you exactly what it was. I saw this older chorus girl who was like about 10 years older than my crew. Now, imagine we're like 23, at 22, 23, 23, 24. And I could tell she was older than us. And she was still auditioning for some of these parts that even I didn't want to audition for. And I'm like, I'm not going to be her. I looked at her one day, and it was like epiphany. The room stood still, and I saw her in this old ratty-tatty coat, because it was winter time, and she looked broken down and tired. And I said, I'm not going to be that. So I need to make some adjustments in my career. So I did. And I made up a fake resume where I put down every play that I ever thought I did or ever knew.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay, young actresses.
No, really.
You heard it here.
I figured they weren't who's going to really research it? I was right out of college. So I made up this fake resume, and I put dancing as a hobby. You know what I mean? Because I figure if they get me in a room with some actors, I'm going to smoke them. And that's exactly what happened. So I eventually could take my fake acting resume and put it with real jobs. And I never stopped dancing. I just focused more on the acting, because I knew that was going to be the longevity of my career, not dancing.
Well, Vanessa, I have to tell you, throughout the years that it's been about 30 years or so.
Date yourself, Angela, not me, dear.
I've been seeing, but I want to say that you are always consistent. You're always warm. You're always friendly. You always have good, positive energy. And I noticed that you have balance in your life. You're married. You have children. So how has you been able to have the family and have the career?
The one thing you got to realize is that, first of all, you got to marry somebody that you're equally yoked with. I say that to everybody. And you got to get married for the right reasons, not just because you want to have that white dress on one day. And I was very fortunate enough to meet the love of my life, who is my biggest supporter and my biggest foe, the person who pushes me the hardest and gets on my nerves the worst, all in one day. But
you just had a big anniversary.
25 years. And when I say get on my nerves, not like he annoys me, but he's that person who will bring out everything I don't want to face or I want to hide from. And he's that one that makes me run to it. And the lessons that I've learned from him insurmountable. But the one thing that I try to pass on to my children, if it scares you, run towards it, not away from it. So with that, knowing that sometimes I get to take my cape off, I always try to tell black women, take your cape off, because it's okay to ask for help. And I'm very lucky because in this city, I have his mom and dad. I have my mom and dad. I have numerous of friends. So I can say, I'm going to go do a movie. I'll be gone for 2 weeks. Y'all got this. Even when they were little. Although I would prepare and I would do everything to have the transition easy for the children and for, everybody helping out. So I was very lucky because I did have a support staff. So, I married the right person. That's the first thing, because the moment you marry somebody and they say, oh, you can't act anymore, or I don't want you to do that, that's an issue. Because it's like, hey, you ain't my daddy, and you don't get to tell me what I'm going to do. Because I was an actress when you met me, when you married me, and the conversation we had before we got married, and I'll decide when I stop acting. So if you're good with that, you need to be good with that. That means I'm going to be, appear to be intimate with people, but when they say cut, you have to trust that it's cut for me. Because I'm always coming home, because I don't want them. I love you. So you need to be good with that. And, if Tony was like, okay. So,
So he married the right woman.
And I married the right man. And that's why it works for us, because, as I always tell people, everybody got to get up and have somewhere to go. The person that's sitting at home waiting for the person to come home, and because you ain't got no life, you ain't got nothing to do, you're going to have problems eventually. There's issues. So he has his life. I have my life. We have a life together. We have the children. We have a lot of things that we do. So, but we also give each other space to be full human beings and to have our own lives. And that works for us.
Now, I've listened to your blog talk radio show.
Oh, thank you.
That's So Vanessa.
That's so very Vanessa.
Very, so that's so very Vanessa. And
I couldn't get that so Vanessa was already taking something. You know how that is, child. You got to go through the whole thing to get the title and the websites, But anyway, go ahead.
And you have a theme song, too.
I do. I know. I like my little theme song.
I do, too. It's cute. Now, how did you decide to do that?
Well, my good friend Rolanda Watts kind of pushed me.
Okay.
I like challenges. And she had been, she said it, and then I go, okay, yeah. But she said it, and she kept saying it, and she kept, in my face saying it. Like, you need to do this. We've known each other for years. She went to college with Tony. You have this to offer. You have that to offer. You have this to say. You have that to say. Because she had one, and she was having so much fun with it. She approached me, and she would not let up. So I finally went over to her house with my computer, and there it was. And I thank her to this day. Because
you like doing it? It's fun?
It's been very rewarding. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, good. Well, we're going to take a break here. But when we come back...
I can tell you how to break. That's why I closed my sentence, because I understand those things. You knew that. Yeah, I know those things. Because they were over there like this.
I know. We're taking a break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about the life-changing thing that happened in Vanessa's life, and we're also going to bring on Dr. Hurst, who was involved in this process.
Who saved
her life. But we're going to have real talk here. You're watching the Angela DeJoseph Show, and we're talking about what matters. We'll be right back.